Hello Libra, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the Lenormand card reading for the sign of Libra for the month of December. But before we start, I all want to wish you happy holidays. I hope you all stay in good health, and of course, I wish you financial prosperity. As always, we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Libra for the month of December, and these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you, on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are directly connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. I also want to add, if you have questions, you can always post them in the comments below. And if I have time, of course, I will answer them as soon as possible. Anyway, Libra, here we go for your Lenormand card reading for December 2021. Hello Libra, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your Lenormand card reading for December. As the first card here on your portrait, we see the house. So it means our family is important to us. Family, work. This card represents family, work, our own house, sometimes also our body. It represents our body. Anyway, this represents the people that are very close to us, or things that are very close to us, like our work. Here we see that there's a very big importance to that all the things I just mentioned here. Anyway, we should if we don't have meaningful foundations with them, maybe we should try, or we should do our best to build these foundations back up. Because in the center card, we have the ring, and the ring is the card of balance. It also means that we build bridges. So maybe we need to build some bridges. Maybe there's some difficulties before with the family, it's possible, or the contacts get more loose. And this card tells us to reconnect with these people, maybe to build bridges. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, we should not also not broadcast situation. The foundations here are important. Maybe if the things are a little bit shaky for the moment, it's important that we don't rush to rebuild this connections with the family. The house demands solid foundations for building up. So here there is no rush. Here we must build everything up in harmony. On the central card here we see the ring. So this is that we are reconnecting. It could also be that our partner has a very big influence on us, or that our partner is very important to us. But since we have the stork there could be some serious changes related to the partner also, or something is changing related to the partner, but we will go later into that. Anyway, here with the central card here that we are seeing here, we need to see that we get ourselves and the people around back in balance. This is the card of diplomacy, reconnecting, putting everything in its right place, bringing the scales here in balance. This is important here. Then we gonna mirror the cards. We're gonna mirror the house and the cross here, the corner cards. Here we see that our house where we live ourselves, this is the right place where we should be. It's like destined to be that this house is for us. If you are you are in the process for moving or changing houses, which is possible, here we see that we need to take our time. We cannot rush things. There's a period needed. Maybe it will take a longer time, since we have the coffin here, and the coffin is a quiet card. It wants us to go deep into ourselves, and related to our house, it's probably very important to us, the place where we live. So here the coffin tells us to do everything in a slow pace. Don't rush things, don't over hurry things. The coffin is a quiet card. It wants us to put our mind in the right track. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Also, this points related then to the family. There could be some problems here that we need to work out. Maybe suddenly we are confronted with certain burdens or responsibility related to the place where we come from. This could also go on the work. As I said, we suddenly could be confronted with some responsibilities to the work that we didn't have before. It could be that there is a transformation on the work floor. Something is changed there slowly, and the work is actually reorganizing itself, and it will probably not be as before. Some changes here on the work floor, also on the family front. There are some serious changes here. Later on, we will see why. Anyway, here we see also this points to spiritual gatherings. This could mean that you have a meeting in a church, in a mosque, in a spiritual center, whatever your religion is. Synagogue, whatever your religion is here, here we see there is a connection that we are going to a spiritual or a religious place. Anyway, this probably is a place where we are connected here for a very long time, maybe since our childhood. This is what we are seeing here. Here we could also see that we sometimes have a little bit loss of faith here. This is what we are seeing here. It could also be possible that our family is quite traditional. You have suddenly maybe more responsibility for the family. There's a period of hardship here maybe going on. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe we are thinking back how things were before about our family. It's like here we have a kind of regression, especially with the coffin here. The coffin tends to bring up memories from before, because this is everything what is psychologically in the box here. This is what we are seeing with this combination. Then we're gonna mirror the sit and the stork. Here we see that there are serious big transformation. The stork is a big bird. He transforms, he changes, he moves around, he moves with a reason. He's a migrating bird. So here this brings big changes. These changes could have also a very big emotional impact on our heart or the way that we feel. This is what we are seeing here. Also here with the sit, these changes could be quite abrupt. Suddenly the sit suddenly comes, and it's there. We are confronted with the facts, and there are no changes. We can no longer delay this situation. We need to accept it as it is. If there were limitations, stops before, these stops will all go away, and now suddenly there is a change here. Anyway, you will also feel some changes in yourself here. This is what we are seeing here. If the change don't come, you yourself will subconsciously initiate the change. This sometimes also point, as we saw before, probably that you are looking for another residence. We see this here coming back. It's possible here with this combination that you are about to move, but we see the ship here. So here, these are two migrating cards. And here we see probably with this combination, it's possible that you are thinking about taking a serious big move, possibly in abroad. If not abroad, it will be at least another city, but I'm guessing, I'm thinking here, not guessing, I'm thinking here that with this combination, it will be or have to do something with abroad. I would assume since the stork is a bird that always returns, he has a certain trajectory. He goes and he comes back. He moves from Europe to Africa, and then he comes back here with his partner. He comes back, he builds a nest in Europe, and after his birds or his offspring is adult, they travel with him to another place, to abroad. So here we see it takes time. So here this transformation takes time, but also we see here that this is about traveling. We make a step, and it's possible with this combination, since we have the ring of return, you return to a place where you have been before. Maybe if you are considering a step for moving abroad, it's possible that you visited this place several times before, because the ring returns and the stork also. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, if there is a certain process going on, this will be shortcutted. It will be faster here. what we see more here, it's possible that this place where you return to in abroad, it's been a long time since you've been there. But now here we make attempts or serious attempts to go back, or we will go back there. This is what we are seeing here. Then we're going to go for the horizontal lines. We have the house, the coffin, and the cross. The house and the coffin here, it means probably the place where we live. We are a lot with our family, but not exactly in the place where we live. It's possible that we live in another place and we are now spending a lot of time with our family. Sometimes the coffin for some of these groups of this group, this literally means that somebody, a family member, has passed away, especially here with this symbol, with this religious or the spiritual symbol here. It's possible here with this combination that we are seeing here. It's also possible that in the beginning, if we didn't have a lot of communication with our families before, that everything is moving very slow for getting it back on the road. Because the coffin is a slow cart. Maybe we need to digest some things out of our childhood, out of our past, before communication can restart. Here there is like a serious psychological process. We know in some families that there are some issues going on, and this might what we are seeing here. Anyway, if you go there, if you are there for certain reasons, maybe somebody passed away, maybe a father figure passed away, because the house represents mostly the father, because it's a male card. So here we see then that we are going through this period of grief here. We rest in the home, we go back to the home. Probably also you will later on, you will see that certain traditions in yourself will be lost. There's like a change of tradition here. Anyway, there will be, maybe you are shocked about this whole thing. This come quite suddenly with the sit here. This could be the case here. Also, when you are there in the house where you are raised, it could be that you experience a kind of emptiness that in that house. Maybe you miss somebody, but it's like there is a hole there in the house, something that cannot be filled up. Maybe this is related to the present here, the presence here of the person. Anyway, here we see also in our personal house, here there are some changes here. Anyway, here we see also probably that this house where our families are, there are going to come some changes. It's possible after this that this house comes on the market, or actually it's change owner, or it actually goes away like that. It's possible it's demolished here, this house. This is what we are seeing here. If it's not demolished, the house, it's like they're coming a total makeover over the house. It's really rebuilt from the ground up. Sometimes this happens with old houses. They rebuild them from the ground, they reuse the materials, and it's rebuilt in its original conditions. This is what we are seeing here, because with the coffin, if things change, they change here, especially with the house, until the root. So everything is redone here, but it's possible that a lot of the materials would be recycled. Anyway, here we have a lot of memories here also about our past. This is what we saw before here. We try, it's like here we try to cleanse ourselves, we try to balance ourselves. This specifically points to the house. It's possible the next time if you are planning to go to abroad, it's possible that you come there the next time, the house is totally rebuilt and you don't recognize it anymore, or you don't feel the connection anymore, because this house will be rebuilt. This is what we are seeing here. There are some endings here in the family circle that we are seeing here. There could be, in some of you here with this combination, there could be have been in the childhood some unsafety. Maybe when you were a child, you felt unsafe there at certain moments. This is what we are seeing here. This unsafety could have many reasons. Maybe you felt threatened because of some reasons in your childhood. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, there's a deeper thing in ourselves here that is going on here. It's possible also for the moment, because of this period of grief, we are longing for more privacy, but since this family is always around us, we have difficulties to find privacy. Here, this is what we are seeing here. We want to build certain barriers, but barriers or borders, but it's like we cannot. It's like constantly these people come in, maybe because of these conditions that are going on there. Maybe somebody passed away here. This is what we are seeing with this combination. Anyway, there could also be some confrontations later on with taxes here. That is what we are seeing here related to the house. Anyway, there will be some order here. You will try to implement some order here because the house demands order here. You will try to get it in certain structure and organizations here. It's possible also with this combination that you feel this weighing, this whole situation on your body, because the cross, it weighs, it's heavy and it weighs on our body. So this is what we are seeing here with this combination. But your home, your private home, you probably, when you're there in another place, you miss your private home, the home where you actually live. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible that you there in the place of your parents, that you have a feeling of suffocation, because the coffin, sometimes it can suffocate us. Like you cannot breathe very well here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, here we see that you will let go of these things later on. But with the coffin, it's a slow process. It's a slow psychological process. Maybe that's why here you want to departure. You want to take literally your distance, and not only you want to take the distance in your mind, you want to take the physical distance, because this physical distance gives you more a feeling of safety. This is what we are seeing here. Then we have the coffin and the cross on itself. Here we see that, again, here we see the combination that somebody has passed away or could be passed away. We need to remember here that this fate awaits all of us. No man or woman lives forever. It's an inevitable condition that we are confronted here. It doesn't mean it's easy here, but anyway, this points to a phase of grief. We could be confronted with some darker sides of ourselves, because we have the moon here, the darker side of ourselves here. The moon has a dark side. So here we see that we are emotions, especially with the coffin, emotions of our childhood are coming back up. We think about memories with the loved ones, not necessarily all good, but there will be positive things also. What we will try to do here is find the balance in all of it. It will not be easy to find the balance, because there is a lot of pressure here, psychological pressure on us. Anyway, here we see, once we moved on, better times are coming here for us, especially with the cross. It's heavy. It don't happen before its time, but when it happens, the procedure is going. It's inevitable. It's unable. You are unable to stop this process here with this combination. Anyway, here we feel pain here. This is what we are seeing also. Sometimes also maybe it's possible that in certain conversations you are very emotional and you decide just to keep quiet for the sake of. This is what we see here also with this combination. You are like in the phase here, ready to let it go, and we just do our duty possibly, and we are able to let go. We are ready here to take our trip to continue our journey in life. And it will be a big journey, because big changes are about to come here. Anyway, here we see also sometimes there could be some paperwork here also related to the house. This is what we are seeing here, some contracts on the house, maybe the property. There are some things that are going to happen with the property. Maybe there's somebody who is interested with the property, who wants to buy the property. This is what we are seeing here. But maybe the actual finishing of the whole thing, it's possible that you are already in abroad when this is fixed up. So if you need to copy official documents or seal official documents here, see if you are planning to go on a trip, you have official duplicates with you if this would be necessary, especially from your birth certificates or whatever. If you move abroad, see that you have officialized documents with you if those would be necessary, because if you're far there, sometimes it's not easy for getting these documents back. Anyway, it's possible also with this combination that this person had a longer period before he passed away, maybe some difficulties before the moving on here to the other side where was put upon him. Maybe there was a suffering put on this person before he moved over to the other side. Then we have the moon and the ring here. Normally, this is a very good combination for a relationship, but it could mean, I think in this context here, it means that we are trying to balance a good relationship out with ourselves. We try to find ourselves. Because I think even in our relationship, if we are in a relationship with a certain person, since we have the sit here, I think there are some serious changes also there upon our relationship. So here, I think this is not in context of relationship. I think this here is in context of ourselves. Here we try to establish a good relationships with our feelings. And I think here we try to find our balance, emotional balance, especially the balance in our mind, because the moon is our mind, in abroad. And maybe as we are traveling, we are able to find this. The moon sometimes also represents the work. So I'm assuming here, this points that you have plans for doing some business in abroad. Here we see a contract that is made to you from other people. This is actually a very good combination for business in abroad. So here we see that there is possible here that there is some kind of creative contract, because the moon is creativity. It's our work, and here this card is ruled by Venus here. Here we see that there is a creative side on this traveling and on this work. It's possible that we do a creative work in abroad. There are many forms of creativity. Sometimes the ship, it represents money, but we could be creative in banking. We could be creative in trading goods, because the ship is moving goods from one side to another side. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, here, this is an important step that you are about to take with this combination. It's possible also that for taking this step, it could be a big step for you. Maybe you have been there on a vacation, or you have been there in this place, but this is different. This is actually moving there. So this is a step, and the moon sometimes makes us scared. There are fears coming up to us, and we think, is this the right step? But probably this is a very good step, because you have a lot of migrating things here. You have the birds here, you have the ship, and this is like the trip, the cross. This is a trip that is destined to be. This migration is destined to be. So I wouldn't worry too much about the fear, because sometimes the fear is ungrounded and it's related to something in our unconscious here. Anyway, here we also should try to sleep well here, because we need some rest here with this stressing situation. Then we have the ring and the ship on itself, these two cards. Here we see that we make business connection, emotional business connection, a creative business connection with somebody abroad. This is a very positive combination with the changes coming up there. It's possible if you come there in that country, maybe you don't immediately go there. And this points also that maybe we're there in that country, when we come there, we buy a vehicle, like maybe like a motorcycle, for moving ourselves around here. This is what we are seeing with this combination. Anyway, here this points also to international agreements here, long distance relationships here. For some of you, this points also, if, for instance, if you would decide to live in a smaller island, that you would purchase a boat. Maybe the mainland and the place where you want to go, it's not directly connected to the mainland, maybe the house, and you need to purchase a boat. This is what we are seeing here, but it's a thing that makes us move on our own here. This is what we are seeing here, but also the motorcycle is not excluded here from these two. Anyway, we stick through with these combinations, we keep to these changes and we go on this international journey, even though we are not feeling very comfortable, but we need to do this here. There's a certain wanderlust here, and the wanderlust can be stronger than the fear. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible also, there's if we see this in the context of the person who passed away, there's an emotional missing here from this person. But we have the feeling, and probably this is the correct feeling, that this person is watching over us. This is what we are seeing here. There's still some emotional attachment here. Then we have the sit, the heart, and the stork. Here we see on the relationship field something in our relationship or something has broken our heart. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. And because there are some emotional things cut off in our life, we need these changes. We need to change here. This is what we are seeing with this combination. This can literally point to that we have heartache. This is what we are seeing with this combination. Anyway, here you also want to see that things that are related to the house are justified, that everything is emotionally in balance. You try to get everything emotionally in balance. Also, this point sometimes that we are very soft-hearted. So you need to be careful, because we see that the person here is in an emotional state, a sensitive, very sensitive moment, and you could get hurt because somebody could say something like cruel to you, and here you could really take that upon you. This is what we are seeing here. If this person says something to you, this is probably out of jealousy. Here, this is what we are seeing here with this combination. Then we have the heart and the stork and itself. Here we see if we move or as we move, and if we move in abroad, here we see that we are reconnecting or connecting with somebody else. The ring is a reconnection and the stork is coming back. So it's possible that if you go in abroad or in this other place, that this person that you meet there, he's not unfamiliar for you. So here it's like there's a reconnection out of the past. Maybe there's some family ties somehow with this person, but it's like here we see that you have met this person before. If this not in this life, if you are in the reincarnation thing, here we see that probably we have met this person in previous life. Anyway, here we see that our heart is changing here. Another relationship is developing here. This is what we are seeing with this combination. It's like here that we see a lover returns, and we see it 2 times here, but the lover could be from abroad. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe he is a local there, and we met this person there before a long time ago, and by some coincidence, we meet this person here back in our life. Then we have the vertical lines. We have the house, the moon, and the sit. The house and the moon here is that you are invited, or you invite people into your house. Probably this could mean that you invite these people because you're moving away. So here, this is what we are seeing here with this combination. These people also, they will be emotional because you leave. This is what we are seeing here because the moon is involved. Maybe some of these people are involved in this creative profession that you do also, or in your work. Maybe these people are emotionally connected to your work, and here it's like we are saying goodbye. This could go quite suddenly because the sit cuts off the emotional ties here, because if you're planning to go abroad, of course, some ties will be cut, physical ties here. It doesn't mean we cannot communicate, because we have all forms of communication now on the internet. Anyway, here we see also that the person has quite a good reputation in the neighborhood. If some people see you, they have positive memories about you and you being around the house here. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe there is some reconnecting with some locals there, and this might be the last time that you see these people there. So it's if you are very strong connected to the home before, it's best that you take these emotions or these feelings or these meetings in yourself, because some of these people that you will meet there, you probably will never see them again. Anyway, I mean locals then. I didn't mean this about the friend front. Anyway, here we see also that here these people could come us to us. It could be a late night invitation. These people could really stay long. Here it's like nobody wants to come home here with this party. Everybody is a little bit sad here. This is good planned out also here. Anyway, there's like a very restful atmosphere here that with the people that we have invited here. This is what we are seeing here. There's a very intuitive emotional sphere here if these people come to your home. There's a sadness also, of course. Then we have the moon and the Sith here. Again, here we see the sudden invitation. There's pleasant surprises also. You will be surprised. They will surprise you with something. This is what we are seeing here in a positive way here. This is what we are seeing here. But it will all be a little bit emotional. Also, if you have some communication with some colleagues and these colleagues are about to go out of your life because you're about to migrate, it's possible that you are surprised and some people will drop their mask. You will see another side of them. This is what we are seeing, or you show a different side of yourself. This points to an end of a cycle. The moon has a cycle, and here this points to an end of a cycle. This is what we are seeing here. There's a sudden decision here that you take. You suddenly see some emotions very clear, and here you embark here on certain adventures. Here we see also that if we could not move before, we stop complaining about certain situations. We just take the decision and we go for it. This is what we are seeing here. But here we see also, we need to see that we have sufficient sleep. Then we have the coffin, the ring, and the heart. The coffin and the ring here, again, here, this points to an ending of a relationship. We already mentioned this. I just see if I can add something also related to our work. The place where we work, this could mean the end of our contract. It doesn't mean that we didn't like the place where we worked. We probably did, but we are in the end of the cycle and it's time to move on. This is what we are seeing here. Probably we spend there good times. We have probably a good connection with a lot of colleagues because we have the ring and the moon here. So there's a lot of emotionality as we saw earlier, but this is coming to an end now. We probably think over the situation. We are probably, sometimes the ring doubts and the moon gives fears. And then we think, should we do this? Should we not do this? Sometimes Venus has difficulties with decisions because everything is very founded, they're grounded in the work, and we are balancing here. We are balancing. Should we do it? Should we not do it? Sometimes Libra, especially, and we are in Libra here, Libra has difficulties for making decisions, especially here there are grounded emotions, but here we see that you actually will take the step, suddenly you will decide. Here then we see also that here we see the release of the contract. You let go of the contract, it will make you a little bit sad if you leave the workplace. Also, this could mean that you depart of the house. There we already saw that here earlier with this combination. It will not be easy for letting go because you let a part of your self go also when this house goes on the market, and also when these friends depart or they get a different place in your life. Then we have the ring and the heart. If we come then there in abroad, we see this like that. This could be that you reconnect with this person, and probably this all goes a little bit faster than you anticipated. It's possible there that you reconnected with this person and very fast this relationship is taken to the next level. And maybe you're a little bit unbalanced here and you're taken a little bit emotionally off guard, but it could go quite fast here that you go from acquaintancy to actually to engagements. It could go quite fast here. This is what we are seeing here. If this relationship is, you feel it's serious, this could lead to a stable commitment on the long run, and even we have the ring there, maybe to a marriage here in abroad. So there's a strong cohesion here together with the person. You feel really loved, committed to these persons. Here you feel committed to each other. Maybe also there is a shared grief here with the person. This is what we are seeing here. There's some psychological bonding here with the person. Maybe we are on the same level. This is what we are seeing here in relationships. It's not only the physical attraction, but also the psychological level, it's important, it's the same. And maybe here, sometimes here the backgrounds are the same. We share mutual experiences here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, this points to a bound of love here that we are seeing here. Then we go in the last line, we have the cross, the ship, and the stork. The stork and the ship here, this is that the trip is destined to be. When you have the cross and the ship, the trip will never happen before it's time. When it's time to go. So the cross tells us here that you will know exactly when it's time to go. It's possible also when you are there in abroad, you explore new spirituality, or you refine your spirituality more. Sometimes this also points to ashrams, to places of spirituality that we find back here. Maybe we are longing for more quietness, more calmness, meditation also. Sometimes this points to meditation here. This is what we are seeing here. Also, this trip, it will test you. It will be a test of your faith and crossing your borders. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. It's possible that this trip has a very emotional impact on you when you are traveling, and it could really make you, in a way, there's some suffering here. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible also that you re-evaluate your own faith, and you let other spiritualities or spirituality in your life. It's like here, we test our faith, and if we see it's not what we were looking for as a child here, we go in another path. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes also this points that the trip in itself could not be easy. There are some difficulties. Maybe as you travel, there are some changes in the travel. Maybe you worked it out well, but as we travel, some changes are coming up, and maybe you might change physically direction in your trip, because the stork sometimes is that we change. If you have these changes, it's meant to be. Joe, just welcome it and see and make the best out of it. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. In another way, this could point to a pilgrimage, that we are literally looking for faith here with this combination. Anyway, this points also that we are about to leave forever. If we make the decision, we will never return, or we will only return in very exceptional conditions. Anyway, there's a lot of responsibility here for you during this journey. We feel it like our duty to make these changes. It's like we owe it to ourselves. Then we have the ship and the stork on itself. Here, this has gonna have a very big impact on you. This also, if you want to do business, the business is going to have a very big impact on you. The ship is also money. So here we see that also some money could come in here from the business, and it's like it's destined to be. You have also some financial changes, and we see here actually that we like what we do in abroad. This is what we are seeing here also with this combination. This is like a totally fresh start. This journey brings this journey is new. It brings a fresh start, and also this points to a new changing of residence. We literally take our body with us, and we move literally also in our mind to another destination here. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. This points also to immigration. We are confronted with immigration abroad here. We are maybe asked questions here. So see that all the documents that you have are right here, but I don't see any irregularities here about that. If you see that you have all the right documents, it will not be a problem. Try to ask as many questions in the embassies, because sometimes nowadays with these viruses that are around us, sometimes it's more complicated to migrate or to go in certain countries, and don't share information that you don't need to share with migration there. The less you share, the better sometimes. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, there's an inner transformation also in ourselves here. This is what we see also here. It's not only the trip that changes us, but we are changing as a whole here. You could turn out to be more an adventurer than you thought you would be. Here, sometimes the cross can reveal our real nature, our real path. And as you travel, you will discover things, and you will maybe find more at ease than as you think there in abroad. You will find a place there for yourself. There's a real transformative power here of these experiences that we are seeing here. Then we have the cross, the house, the ring, and the stork. Here we see that these are the values towards our family that are changing. We are changing towards our family. So here it's like the bridge is still there for the family, but there are serious changes. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes this points also related to abroad, that we take a mortgage in abroad, or we do some lending in abroad. This is what we are seeing here, and it's probably related to the house. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. If you would buy a house in abroad, this house probably belongs to a woman in abroad. It's possible also that the house is close to the water. This is what we are seeing here, the house that in the future where you will live, and the house would belong to a woman here. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe the person has lived there for a long time, but for some reasons, maybe she moves out there. Maybe she was migrated herself also a long time ago. Anyway, here we see that there is a real estate action here going on. There are contracts here. The commitments with the family will stay, but you will implement some rules and regulations of connections. The bridges will be there, but here I think here you will implement more stricter rules. Maybe it's necessary because of the time difference. Sometimes it's here we see here, but the cohesion with the family, it stays, but under rules and regulations here. This is what we are seeing here. You don't want to connect on times it don't fit you. Maybe you cannot because of your work or the time difference. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Then we have the ring and the stork on itself. Here we see again that we have involvement with somebody that is coming. The commitments that you had with a certain persons are changing. This is a next step in the relationship. Maybe as we saw here, if this whole thing goes very fast in this relationship, I don't see any slow cards here. So everything is emotional and fast here. So it's possible maybe that this new person moves in with you and you decide to buy the house together. This is what we see here. And this is a good combination for staying in good and bad times together. This is what we are seeing here. Even if there are changes in our life, we adjust to each other after we reconnected with this combination. The people around you, if you have some familiar people there in abroad, they will see this coming. And probably afterwards, if you are connected with this person, they will say, but we saw this coming already for a long time. This is what we see here also. We will redefine this whole relationship here. This is what we are seeing here. And it's probably a thing that is very necessary, this whole reorganization from the person, these new connections. Then we have the cross, the ring, and the sit. Here, this points that these points to professional commitments in abroad. Here, these are professional. These are serious commitments that we are seeing here, and they could be suddenly implemented. Suddenly, you have business responsibilities. This is what we are seeing here with this combination, and our partner, our lover, could be intertwined in that. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. The previous relationship would stop, and here the new commitments would also be connected here, business-like. Also, you will test this relationship, how strong it is business-like. You will test it. You will see how sharp it is, because the sit is sharp. The relationship is tested here on his sharpness of business commitments. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Also, if you will endure difficult times with this person, you will stick together, because the ring sticks together even in times of changes. This is what we are seeing here. And as I said, it's like this person has similar experience that we have. It's possible also that we already earlier saw there are certain spiritualities, ideologies, maybe religious things that changing. And it's possible that this person has the same ideologies, spiritualities as you have. And this could give the connection between the both of you. This is possible also. Then we have the ring and the sit here. This is then the relationship that we end before. Maybe there was a lot of problems in that relationship that you had before. This is what we are seeing here, but the end could come quite soon. It's like here, there's a lot of events from the past that suddenly go out of our life, and some new era is waiting in our life to come. Here also, this could literally mean that we give the family jewelry back. If you have received some family jewelry from your partner before, it's possible that you give it back. You don't want it anymore. This is what we are seeing here with this combination. Anyway, here we see here that we will stand our feet on the ground for getting our equal share out of this previous relationship. For instance, if you have a house out of this relationship, you will not tolerate any imbalance. So here we see that we stand for our rights. We want our equal share. We will not allow. We want the benefits of our efforts before. If you have a marriage contract, you will see to it that it's that it's executed exactly in the details as it was. This is what we are seeing here. Here we see we make stock of our past because we know this is a very big step here for this combination. And here we see also we need to have trust in our fate. Here, this is what we are seeing here with this combination. So Libra, for the shell group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser on this big adventure, this big step in your life here. Anyway, I hope you get a little bit wiser out of it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here. And you can also check out the philosophical financial card readings that we do for your sign or your specific short love card reading. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. Thank you for your time and good luck on your journey. Hello Libra, I want to mention here that due to some technical difficulties, I need to put the other 3 videos for Libra, the air, the stone and the fire group in another video session because there are some technical difficulties here with the camera. Thank you, and please check the other videos. They are connected together, the 3 other. Thank you.